Hi Booklovers, welcome back to my channel. I am doing a vlog today. I don't really vlog on my channel, but I kind of wanted to because one of my all-time favorite authors has just dropped a surprise book. I swear to God, Mariana Zapata is the Beyonce of romance authors because she will say like absolutely nothing, almost absolutely nothing about whatever book she's writing, and then surprise, it's out today. So her new book is called When Gracie Met the Grump, and I feel like the most surprising thing about this book, besides the surprise release, is that it's a superhero romance. Like I wasn't even sure if I was reading the blurb correctly. I was like, there's no way this guy's a superhero, right? Like an actual superhero. But no, apparently it is. It's like some paranormal sci-fi romance, I guess, from Mariana, and I am very, very intrigued. I've probably only read one superhero romance in my life, and it wasn't that great, but I guess since, I don't know, superhero movies are such a big thing now, maybe this will be a new trend in romance? I don't know. It does have a cute cover. It's pretty different from her other stuff just because it's illustrated, but it does make sense since it's a very different type of romance than her other books, though I'm sure it's probably gonna be still super slow burn, and of course it's got a grump. So this is basically what I'm gonna be reading this weekend. I'm hoping to vlog it all. I'm very curious to hear what other people's reactions are to this book. I have a friend who already started because it dropped last night. It was literally like 10:30 p.m. when I went on Facebook and saw, surprise, a new MZ book, and I held off on reading it late at night because I knew I wouldn't be able to sleep. But my friend did start it today and she said it's been very interesting, in a good way though. And I mean, everyone else is really excited about it, also a little confused about the superhero part, but it's MZ, so I'm more than likely gonna love it. I mean, I generally am always really excited when contemporary romance authors write in different genres, especially like either historical or paranormal. I'm always curious to see their take on something that's not contemporary, so this should be interesting. Right now it's 4 p.m. on Friday, so I'm basically off work now and I'm gonna dive in to the book, so I will update you guys on when I have some thoughts about it. Okay, update on When Gracie Met the Grump. I am almost a third of the way through. It took me a little while, but I am at 29%. And things are finally starting to get interesting. It's still super slow though because it is Mariana Zapata. But the whole superhero thing has been a little interesting. So in this world, these three superheroes just randomly appeared a few years ago and they started saving people. They would show up out of nowhere when disaster would strike, and the hero is one of these three guys. The three of them are known as the Trinity. It's all very like Marvel-esque, and even though I am almost a third of the way done with this book, I still don't know the hero's name. His superhero name is called the Defender, and he shows up when he crash lands onto the heroine's front yard, and his body is like broken and in pain, and Gracie has to like drag him into her house and help him heal. So I do like this premise. I do love reading romances where, you know, one of them has to take care of the other when they're sick or they're ill. The only thing is that the hero here, he's really done nothing but grunt and glare at Gracie the whole time he's been recovering, and this man just has zero empathy, and I just feel so bad for Gracie having to put up with him. It's interesting how little he cares about Gracie's feelings or like people's feelings in general when he literally saves people's lives. And then Gracie is your very, very typical MZ heroine. She's got her little quirks with how she thinks, how she talks. I want to say 90% of the dialogue has just been from Gracie because of how little the hero talks. The hero is probably the rudest hero from Mariana Zapata so far. I mean, I can't remember any other character being this awful to the heroine, where he literally does not give a crap about what he's putting her through. Like there's one scene where Gracie is crying and he literally tells her to her face that she looks so ugly when she cries. And I was like, why did you have to say that? So this man he has no filter. But the thing that makes Gracie a little bit more interesting is that she is hiding some secrets. She went to live with her grandparents when she was really young, and they had to move around a lot when she was growing up because they were trying to run and hide from something, and she lives pretty much off the grid. She does work but under like a pseudonym, and she has to wear a wig and everything. So we're slowly, you know, unraveling her secrets and why she's living the way she is. So majority of this part that I read is just them being in her house and her taking care of him and him healing at a very slow rate. Something is very clearly wrong with him because he usually doesn't heal this slowly. But then finally something new happens where they kind of get kidnapped. So the plot has finally moved and we're finally learning more about Gracie and her past. I'm gonna try to keep this vlog spoiler free, at least like as I'm reading it. Maybe I'll have a spoiler section towards the end of this video. But for now, I am liking the book a bit. I can't say that I love it. It's been interesting with this superhero guy. He's not likable at all. So I'm really curious to see how the author will make us like him. I did get a text from my friend who has finished this one. She finished it so quickly and she gave it 3.5 stars, which is a little concerning. We usually have the same taste when it comes to Mariana Zapata books, so I mean, I'm hoping I'll love it by the end of the book. We'll see. So I will check back in when I've read more of the book. Oh my gosh. Okay, so things are happening in this book. I read a good chunk of it since the last time I did an update. I left off at like a third of the way through the book and now I'm almost at 70%. I read like almost half the book in about a day. I don't even know how long this book is. Let me check. Probably around 500 or 600. Okay, yes. Amazon says 638 pages. At least that's for the ebook. Let me check the paperback. The paperback is up and I will definitely be getting it. I mean, even if I didn't love it, I would get it just because I need to complete my Mariana Zapata collection. But the paperback is 570 pages. So, you know, around 600 pages, right? So I read almost 300 pages in a day. So it's been a good reading day and it's mostly because things are finally happening in this story. I honestly was not feeling it the entire first third of the book. It was extremely slow, which I mean I expect, but nothing was really happening because Gracie and the hero, they were just stuck in her house with her taking care of him. And literally right after I updated the last time, we finally get to learn the hero's name. I don't know if I should say it or keep it a secret. I might just keep it a secret for now and then talk about it in the spoiler section at the end of this video. I'll give like a timestamp of when I'll start getting into the spoilers, but we'll just keep calling him the hero or the superhero. So when I left off, Gracie and the Grump got kidnapped by these people and they pretty much have to do with Gracie's family because the hero is not the only one keeping secrets here, but these two are basically trying to survive on their own, and this is when we finally get to see their relationship, their bare bones relationship, finally move forward. One of my favorite things about reading a book by MZ is just this slow but genuine progression of the romance, of the friendship, because almost always, I want to say, before her couples get into a relationship, they become friends first, and that just makes the romances all the more believable. Even though this time, you know, we have a freaking superhero. There's a reason why MZ is the queen of slow burn, right? Well, besides all the craziness of Gracie and the hero trying to survive on their own with like nothing but the clothes on their backs, we do get to learn who the hero is, how he's a superhero. We get to meet his family. He has a huge family, and even though there are some who are nicer than others, you can really feel that tight-knit community between them. But I am liking this book a lot more now that we're getting into the meat of the story and I'm starting to understand what's going on. And we also get to see the hero feeling some feelings for the heroine. I'm really hoping that we get some good jealousy scenes here because I love that jealousy scene from Kulti and I always want more of that anytime I read a new MZ book, so we will see what happens next. Alright, new update. I am at 85%. I am almost done with this book, but I have been really liking it more and more. So far, it's like a solid 4-star read, which is not bad at all. Is it gonna be my new top favorite Mariana Zapata book? No, but it's been a lot of fun, and just the entire second half that I've been reading, it's just so much better than the first half. Of course, it has the typical slow burn from MZ, and another thing that I've come to realize is that I love when heroes fall first in romances, and that's kind of a thing with MZ heroes. Like, yes, the heroines do like the heroes first, but I feel like the heroes fall in love first, mostly because the heroines, they feel like it's impossible for the hero to actually be in love with them, so they're like, they don't even try to think about that. They don't think it's a possibility until that very last second, like the last 5% of the book. But that's kind of the charm with Mariana Zapata's romances, her slow burns, and yes, this hero is definitely falling first. He is head over heels for Gracie right now. Like, he's kind of still that same Grump from the beginning of the book. Like, he's grunting and scowling all the time, but he's also very different. Like, he's smiling and laughing a lot and just being very touchy-feely with Gracie. I just love the way that Mariana Zapata writes her heroes when they're in love, because even though we don't get his point of view, we can clearly tell, even though Gracie is still totally oblivious, we can tell through his actions. We see how much he cares for the heroine, and this hero, he literally tells her that he's not gonna let anyone or anything hurt Gracie ever again, and that he'll protect her for the rest of her life. So they are adorable together right now, and I'm also loving his family. The hero has this super cute niece who's been introduced. She is like this tiny little girl, and they talk about how she just lifted a whole tractor because she has super strength like the hero, like a whole farm tractor. So it's been fun, and I cannot wait to finish up the rest of the book. I only have 15% left, so I will probably end up finishing it sometime tonight. I have finally finished reading When Gracie Met the Grump. It took me about 5 days to finish, and it was mostly because the first 2 days it took me forever to read. I was just reading so slowly because I just couldn't get into the book yet. But then once I got a third of the way through, that's when things started to pick up, and the halfway mark is definitely when things started to get more interesting and I was more invested. So my rating for this book, I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars because I did really like it. I adored the main characters. They were so cute and dorky together. The whole superhero aspect was really interesting, and I kind of liked how Mariana Zapata incorporated almost a fated mates to this romance. If she ever wrote another superhero romance, if this is like her new thing now, I would definitely read it. My only like big complaint I will say is probably that there really isn't a plot to this book. It's very much character driven, which I don't mind. I love character driven books, but if you really think about it, it's like nothing really happens. At least not once the main characters, you know, get out of captivity. And even when they were captured, not much happened either. Gracie is just living the good life with her new best friend who just happens to be a superhero. They're around their family a lot because they live in this little community together, and the hero is the same superhero that he was before. He's still saving the world with the rest of the Trinity. So while I enjoyed the characters, the story, the plot itself probably could have been a little bit more exciting, especially when, you know, you have superheroes in your book. Most of the action happens in the first half rather than the second half, but overall I did still have fun reading it. And now for the spoiler section, I will go into some spoilers, some key points that I just wanted to bring up for anyone who has also read the book, the parts that I thought were really interesting. And the first thing I have to bring up is that this is a double virgin romance. Is it weird that I want to talk about this? It doesn't even matter because I am. So both the main characters are virgins, like Gracie and Alex. Alexander is the superhero's name. I thought it was really sweet. I always perk up whenever I come across a virgin hero because it's pretty rare to come across one of those in romance books, but this book goes a little bit further than that and makes both the main characters virgins, which I really liked. I do get a little annoyed whenever I come across a virgin heroine just because I prefer reading about heroines who have had experienced. But I surprisingly wasn't all that bothered with Gracie being a virgin, just because it made sense with her having to live on the run her entire life. She lived with her grandparents her entire life until they passed. She's had to live in hiding, and she never really wanted to lie to anyone. Like, if she did get into a relationship, she wouldn't want to lie to her boyfriend about why she's running from the freaking mafia. And Alex also had a similar situation with why he remained a virgin, with how he was never able to be himself with anyone other than his family, because obviously he can't tell anyone that he's a superhero. So this being a double virgin romance did make this a little extra special. I also wanted to talk about the mafia aspect, or the gang aspect, whatever they were. This part was surprisingly the most boring part about this book. I mean, it's hard to, you know, compare to superhero stuff, but I kind of wanted a little bit more action when it came to this mafia, this gang that was after Gracie. We barely get to see any of the people in that gang, just the people who, just like the 2-3 people who tortured Gracie. And even then, we got maybe 2 conversations from that. They waterboarded her, and that was pretty much it. I didn't really feel that sense of danger when it came to them, and then they just never really come up again after they escape. So that whole plot I probably could have done without. And then the biggest and most important spoilery part is the superhero stuff. I was kind of expecting the superhero stuff to go either one of 2 ways, like magic, like some sort of magic is involved, or they were aliens. And it turns out the story went towards the alien direction. Alex's ancestors came from another planet that was just so much more advanced than humans, than Earth. So does When Gracie Met the Grump count as an alien romance? Absolutely. I did think it was interesting how Gracie was also descended from these aliens, except that her line was just so diluted with humans. It would have been really cool though if we did get to see Gracie with some extra powers, but no, she doesn't really, except for some slight ESP. And the main reason why all of this went down, why Alex showed up injured in Gracie's yard, was because of his grandmother. I also thought it was pretty funny how all of this could have been avoided, like this entire story could have been avoided if Alex had just listened to his grandmother, who predicted that he would end up with Gracie. But he is just too much of his stubborn, grumpy self to listen to his grandmother, to be with someone he had never met, which is understandable. But if he had just listened to his grandmother, they could have been so happy for like a couple years already. That's about it, I think. Oh, there was one thing. I kind of wanted to see a scene where Gracie and Alex banged in the sky, because Alex gets his flying powers back. I mean, if you're gonna have a flying hero, you kind of expect the main characters to have some airtime, right? Maybe it's just me, but if I have a flying hero, I want the main characters to have sex in the sky. They do go flying in the air, and I was absolutely reminded of that spider monkey scene from Twilight, but it was a really cute scene. We did get some surprisingly good dirty talk though from Gracie. I did not expect that, but it was very nice to see. It was a nice touch. But that's it for this reading vlog of When Gracie Met the Grump by Mariana Zapata. I would love to hear your thoughts if you have read this book. I know it's been out for a little over a week now. Let me know if you loved it or you hated it, or if you have, I don't know, superhero romance recommendations. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!